وبعد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. سبحانك لا علم لنا الا ما علمتنا انك انت العليم الحكيم. وبعد قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. وقال تعالى في مقام آخر: وإن يمسسك الله بضر فلا كاشف له إلا هو. وعن أبي يحيى صهيب بن سنان رضي الله عنه قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم: عجبا لأمر المؤمن وإن الأمر كله له خير وليس ذلك لأحد إلا للمؤمن. إن أصابته سراء شكر فكان خيرا له وإن أصابته ضراء صبر فكان خيرا له. رواه مسلم. ربنا اشرح لنا صدورنا ويسر لنا أمورنا واحلل عقدة من ألسنتنا يفقهوا أقوالنا. ربنا زدنا علما وحلما وأدخلنا في الصالحين. Called pandemic, Musibah or Rahmah. We are going to discuss about some of the Islamic dimensions about the concept of the Musibah and Rahmah. As we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us, and our creation is meant to be tested. Main objective behind our creation is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test us. So life, whether individually or collectively, we will have to face many ups and downs in the life. Life won't go smoothly. If we want our life to be smooth, it won't go smoothly. Because the very nature and fabric of this dunya is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set this dunya, the stage of dunya has been set in such a way that every character on the surface of the stage of this dunya, every character is supposed to pass through the test. And he is supposed to face whether individually or collectively. So whenever we face any sort of test, or whenever we face any sort of hardship, calamity, agony, or pain, then our response to it varies. It varies from person to person, it varies from group to group, it varies from one place to other place, depending upon one's concept of living. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as he said, that there are almost 7.5 billion people living on the surface of the planet. And there are a number of beliefs, religions, sects, denominations, ideologies, philosophies, and people derive their inspirations from these respective ideologies or religions, which provide them a framework to look at the different phenomena of the world. When this pandemic erupted, so this was not, initially it was epidemic, then it was translated into the pandemic. Initially the one part of the world was hit, then all of a sudden, like the forest fire, it spread all over the world. And everybody, intellectuals or the lay people, influential or otherwise, top brass of the humanity or the common masses. So we saw a dead, grisly and ghastly this lockdown. And even people before this pandemic could not have thought about it. There are such grievous situations and grave situations we are supposed to face, whether believers or atheists, agnostics or believing in the period of philosophical conjectures. Everybody was surprised, baffled, and astonishing. Because the way we were supposed to face this pandemic, if everything was locked down, and even now, you can see the aftershocks and aftercurrents are still being felt by all the people of the world. And after this, we see that there was a pause, that there was a mixed response to this pandemic. And people reacted differently. And the reaction of the people, it depends upon, to simply call it a Wharton Schwann. What's Wharton Schwann? A Wharton Schwann is a fundamental cognitive orientation of an individual or society, encompassing fundamental, existential, intellectual, and normative ideas, postulates, themes, values, emotions, and ethics. Or in simple word, we can say it is referred to the world view. That how do you look at the world? What do you mean by the life? How do you explain the presence of evil in the society on the surface of this planet? Or how do you define the existential right of a person? These are very important things. Before we discuss other aspects of this pandemic, it's immensely important. As a forward or as a preface, we are going to discuss about the worldview which helps the person to define his position in this dunya, which helps him to locate himself in this dunya. Unfortunately, for most of the people, they are driven by the ideas set by the elite class, intellectual elite. So they are supposed to follow the values, the ideas, perceptions, the philosophies, or the ideologies set by the we can say the minority intellectuals. So they follow that. However, every single human soul thinks always. He tries to position himself in this dunya. No doubt, majority of the people are absorbed in this material life. But there are certain occasions when they are supposed to rethink why they are here. What's the purpose behind their creation? Is it the dunya? Is it the wealth? Is it the position? Is it the authority? Is mentor is created for? Or there is some other objective which was instrumental in bringing him on the surface of the planet. As far as the major concepts are concerned, we cannot deal all the concepts here as regarding the issue of the evil, problem of the evil. As long as this problem of evil is concerned, the concept is a huge concept and it is directed at the intellectual level, and so many responses are to it. What's the problem of evil? Means that when we open our eyes, we see on the surface of this planet that life is full of agonies, hardships. Life is full of melancholic ideas. Life is full of oppression and suppression. And this presence of evil, it poses a problem to understand. Because the people, those who believe in the existence of God, the concept of God is altogether merciful, benevolent, compassionate, full of mercy. But at the same time, we see that there are many people suffering. There are sufferings, there are agonies, afflictions, pain, injustice, so many other things. Poverty is there. And then some people who think, who contemplate on the existential value of the human beings. So it creates a problem for them, and ultimately it leads them, it paves the way for them to deny the merciful God. You see, if God is merciful, then why he inflicts the pain upon the human beings? If God says that all the human beings are my servants, then why he inflicts the pain? Why tsunami? Why this disasters, natural disasters? Why the earthquakes devastating and destroying the material as well as the human resources? So one of the analysis I would like to discuss here is that of the Bertrand Russell. Russell is considered to be one of the agnostics. Because he himself says that to a common person I'm an atheist, but to a philosopher I'm agnostic. And I have discussed this before with the people that it's very, very easy to say that there is no God, but it is deadly impossible to prove that there is no God. You can never prove. If you bring all the mathematicians of the world together to prove that 2 plus 2 makes 5, you cannot prove it. 2 plus 2 makes always 4. So those who are having these intellectual capabilities and they use their intellectual potential in a right manner, in a perfect manner, they come to the conclusion that this universe, huge, beautifully designed and fashioned universe, cannot be of that sort. However, Russell is now is discussing this problem of evil. His argument is that the presence of evil suggests that there is no merciful God. He puts forward certain examples. One of the examples he is dealing with, he says that you see a person, if he inflicts the pain upon other person, you will say that he is cruel. If a person inflicts a cancer upon other person, he causes him to suffer through this deadly disease. So that person will be called as brutal, merciless, with no compassion in heart, that he causes a person to pass on cancer. But what about that merciful God who causes hundreds and thousands of people every day to suffer this deadly disease? He further goes on to say that if a person kills another person, what do we call him? He's a murderer. He's a brutal, merciless murderer. Why? Because he took his life innocently. So what about the one who takes the lives of hundreds and thousands of people every day, but still he is merciful? Another response by another person, atheist also, he says that I fail to understand that a person or a child is born in a slum and he's deprived of all the facilities, all the luxuries, and he's bound to face the hardships in the life. He's supposed to pass through many hardships. I fail to understand before the birth what kind of sin he has committed that he is supposed to pass through these hardships. On the other hand, I see another boy, another baby boy or baby girl is being born in a palace. And I fail to understand before the birth what kind of good deed the child has done which brings him the laurels in his life. He's supposed to enjoy all the luxuries. He's supposed to live a luxurious life and lavish life in this beyond surface of his life. So there are two examples. One, that of the child who is born in a slum, in a poor house, in a poor family. Another example is that of the one who is born in the palace. So what is the fault with the one who is born within the slum? What is the fault with him to face all the hardships in this life? And what is the virtue with the one who is born in the palace? To have this virtuous life. So if there is a God, then he is making the partiality. Is partial, is not impartial. So his bounties, his favors, all his blessings are specific to certain people, whereas others are deprived of these bounties. So, and we see that there is economic disparity. We don't have the we can say the classless society, which Karl Marx called. He hypothetically he postulated an utopian society, utopian concept of society where there are no classes in the society as far as the economy is concerned, as far as the financial finance is concerned. So he was against the economic disparity. He wanted the economic parity in the society. But that is a good idea to think of, but we can never have that on the surface of the planet as far as the present human nature is concerned. For that idea, we need another creation of the human beings whose ideas are designed that way. As far as the present content of human being is concerned, we don't have that type of idea practically. That's why in 1917 the revolution occurred. It could not sustain just 7 decades. In 89 it was collapsed. 1989. So just 7 decades only. But as far as the idea is concerned, it seems to be very attractive, applicable, and a person thinks that yes, this is the idea, this is the society we want. However, it's all a utopia, which has nothing to do with the reality. Emerson is very beautifully put it down that Sirius, the heavenly body, and that of the sun. Sirius can be loftier than the sun, but it cannot ripen the grapes. You may have many good ideas with you, but those ideas need the practical utility. You may think of utopian society, but at the same time, you need to see the compatibility of that differentially with present human nature and human reason. The beauty of the Islam is that there's a harmony, balanced harmony between the human nature and the human reason, which connects a person to the revelation. The high level of epistemological discourse which is important for the humanity, without which humanity is doomed. So coming back to our topic, that the presence of evil in the society, presence of pandemics, diseases, ailments, then natural disasters, earthquakes, tsunami, and all these things. So there are various multiple ways of approach to define man's position vis-a-vis all these happenings or all these episodes. So they came to the conclusion that since we find that there is a partiality. The child is born in Islam. I fail to understand what kind of sin has performed before his birth that he's supposed to face these hardships. Another child is born the same day in the palace, from riches to rags. Why this partiality? What kind of good deed he has done before his life? Now there's one response to this, that's of Hindus, that they say one's karmas, one's actions. If your actions are good, you are supposed to just in your next birth, when you come in the next generation, in your next life, you will have to live a luxurious life. And the one whose karma are bad, then he's supposed to pass through the hardships. So according to this philosophy, which is against the human reason and human nature, that and if the gravity of the bad deeds definitely have the effect upon one's metamorphosis in the next generation. Means how come his position or his physicality will be determined by his actions. If his actions are crooked, his actions are bad, is bound to take some animal form. So we can say metamorphosis in this way. The nature of metamorphosis depends upon the gravity of the sins. If his karma are immensely bad, then he's supposed to take any form, assume any form of animals. So according to this philosophy, all the dogs, cats, and beasts, they are in the previous generation, they were the humans. And the humans nowadays who are brutal, who are grisly and ghastly, who inflict the pain upon the humanity, whose karmas are not good, they are supposed to assume the form of the animals in the next generation. And those animals who are kind and compassionate, maybe they will be returned back to the human form in the next generation. So this all together is the human reason, the rational capabilities of a person. We cannot accept this. The biological sciences and or positive sciences totally deny this. So coming back to this main thing, that is the presence of evil in the society. These pandemics, epidemics, diseases, ailments, all these things, why they are in the society? Why men are supposed to pass through these hard times and testing times? If God is merciful, why doesn't He just remove all these hardships from the people? When the compassionate parents with all the time wish the good for their children, and you claim that God is more merciful, is benevolent, magnanimous, and is magnificent, then why doesn't he show his mercifulness at a high level so that he removes all these hardships from the life? Actually, we need to understand the basic purpose of life, without which we cannot give we can say, a satiating answer to this problem. According to Islam, we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the universe, the manufacturer of this universe, He says in the Quran in open words. In Surah Al-Mulk, verse number 7, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ. This verse tells about the philosophy of life and death, according to Islam. Why we are here? Why the unending cycle of birth and death? One generation comes, goes away, and then another generation is brought on the surface of this planet. So this ongoing cycle of life and death. Somebody is born, someone is dead. Somebody is brought into existence, other one, his life is seized. So this seems to be an unending cycle of life and death, which generations after generations are coming. So what is the philosophy behind this? Why men are here? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us? So we need to understand this first. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Mulk, الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one. الذي خلق الموت. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created the death, والحياة and the life. So why he created the death and life? ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. So that he will put you on test. So that he will test you which one of you is best in deeds. Which one of you shows loyalty, sincerity, integrity, and sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whichever among us you is disobedient, insincere, forgetting all the mercies and blessings and bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in Surah Al-Kahf, إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا مَا عَلَى الْأَرْضِ زِينَةً لَهَا. Whatever we create on the surface of this planet, it's just a decoration to it. There's a decoration to it. لِيَبْلُوَهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. Why he created? Why he brought us into existence? The main cause, you can say, the main purpose is to test us. So, according to Islam, this whole universe in general and this world in particular is an examination hall. In the examination hall, we are supposed to pass through the test. A simple example to make it more simplified. In every country or in every region, there's a school or a board of school education. There's a government body, a regulatory body, who is supposed to just carry forward all the affairs of the education. This board of school education, every year they call the students to pass the test. So it's the responsibility of the board of school education to have the tests and the exams of the students. One simple example. And then they issue the advisory or what we call circulars that this school, the students of this school will go there. Their center of examination will be there. And that's again a school. A school principal gets a letter from the higher authority, from the board of school education, that you have to arrange the exam for 200 students. But when we see the capacity of the school is just 150 students, then principal thinks my capacity is I can accommodate only 150 students. However, the directive is that I'm supposed to facilitate the examination for 200 students. But he thinks it's just a question of 3 hours, so I will manage it. Now what they do, the principal is now, he causes all the 150 students to sit upon the desk, upon the chairs. Now remains 50 students. They are standing there. Now he tells the teachers, you get your all your chairs. He calls them to sit upon them. Now they are seated upon some students, and let's say 20 students. 150 are on the normal chairs. Now among them, there are 20 students who are now on the teachers' chairs, which are quite good than the normal chairs. And then 30 are still there. The principal tells his staff that there are certain racks. So you get the racks and just spread on the floor, your students will sit down. Still, he can accommodate 10 students on the racks. And then there are 10 students still. He says, you see any other racks? He said, they are the tattered. They are the tattered racks. He said, get them is just a question of 3 hours. Now, 9 students are still accommodated. There remains 1. We tell them, get my share. Principal's share. They can receive over there, then they will have the exam. Now you see there are 200 students. Somebody is on the normal share, somebody is on the teacher's share, good share, and someone is on the principal's share, the revolving share. And some are on the wood racks, and others on the tattered racks. But the one who is on the principal's share looks down upon those who are on the tattered racks, thinking that I'm better than you. Is there any way for any student to feel superior? So the position is different, but they are all meant to feel the exact. The question paper is same for all. There is no difference in the question paper. The time is given for all, and all the opportunities are open to all. Now, what will decide the result of the student? Will this have any impact upon the result of the student while he was sitting during the examination hall? It won't make any difference whether you were on the good chair or on the capital ranks. This will not make any sense. What will make the sense? What is important? How do you write your answers? Which is within your capability. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created different people, placing someone at the high pedestal of the society. Someone is rich, someone is poor, but all is meant for the test. It's not that the rich are excluded, they are excluded from the test. It's the only poor who are supposed to face the test. It's not that the only beautiful people they are excluded from the test. It is the ugly faced people who are supposed to face. So ugliness or the beauty or the cuteness, the richness or the poverty or pauperism, the intellectual capability of a person or the danceness of a person, the foolishness of a person, this hardly matters. So all these differences in life, it's just someone is facing hardships. This hardship is meant for the test, and someone is enjoying the luxurious life. That life is a test for him. So all the dynamics of life, we have to understand this thing. The dynamics of life, which is meant for the test. So we all are in different positions, but our difference in positions, our stratification won't make any sort of impact upon our end result. End result is how what was my effort for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether I performed the good deeds or bad deeds, because that's the sole discretion of the human being. That's why we have choiceful beings. We are not like the animals or like the angels. Though we have the angelic sentiments, we have the animalistic sentiments both within us. We are the blend of two things. At the same time, contrary to the angels, contrary to the animals, they are choiceless beings. They don't have any choice of theirs. We are choiceful beings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with a choice. To use our choice positively or in a positive sense, or to use our choice negatively or in a negative sense. It is on the basis of this choice we shall be asking on the day of judgment. It is this choice which will determine our destination. There are only two destinations. This will determine our destination. So our concept of test is this: that we are here in this dunya. We are supposed to face these tests. We will later on see the pandemic is a reminder from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It seems to be a disaster, calamity, catastrophe, but underneath this catastrophe and disaster, there are many positive aspects. We need to focus upon. We need to contemplate. Then and only then we can realize the importance of our own existence in life. When we forget about our own existence, then the things are mixed up. The person is confused. He cannot find a satiating solution to the problems of the life. Our problems are meant to elevate our position. Our disasters, our calamities, it is designed to check the integrity and sincerity of a person. To show our loyalty to the one who brought us into existence. We will see this later on. So the problem of evil is not that we should think that He is a merciful God and why actually when we cause our children to pass through several tests, will it just groom them, refine them, or they'll be just idle people, useless people? The test is to make a person stronger and stronger enough. In any field of the dunya, you see, when you pass through higher tests, your position is promoted or demoted. Position is promoted. Once you pass the tests, higher the tests, higher the rewards. Al-Abaya, Al-Qadri Balaya, Arab says. Al-Abaya, the gifts are given according to one's tests. Those who face the ultimate justice in life, they are the trendsetters for the society. Those who don't do anything, those who don't face any sort of problem, any sort of affliction, any sort of pain or agony in their life, they are just common people. They cannot make the history. They cannot develop their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the way that you can get more and more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this dunya is meant for the test. If you take out the test concept, then it is all confused. If you take out the concept of akhirah, then you cannot justify anything. There will be all chaos. A person is getting another person, he says, if there is no life after death, it's my choice. Why you put restrictions upon me? A person is making theft and he's taking away the wealth of others. He says, it's my choice. Who are you to just put restrictions upon me? Who are you to make the laws for me? Ultimately, a person is supposed to leave everything behind. So let me just take benefit of it. So you cannot justify that things. Everything will be unjustified. Is the concept of akhirah, the concept of test, which justifies all the ethics, the global ethics of the deen. Without this, you cannot justify the things. Why I should be good, but by the end of the day, I'm supposed to be just mixed up under the heaps of soil. If it is just the savage dance of the ghastly and grisly matter and the atoms and the ions, then why should I be polite, compassionate, kind to others? If it is just the savage dance of the atoms, ghastly atoms, grisly ions, if there is no any purpose, if there is no any purpose behind the creation, so let me live the life of my own choice. Who are you to set the rules for me? So the fabric of society, the fabric of human existence will spoil. You cannot justify it. That's why the rate of suicide among those people who don't have such ideas is quite high. There is no purpose. By the end of the day, they are fed up of their life. They cannot derive the pleasure. They cannot, because there is no any end point. There is no any particular target they are supposed to reach. So, Islam is a mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He sent the messengers to us. Otherwise, we would be wandering here and there. Just the animals. I always say that the only difference between the animals and us would have been that they walk on the 4, we walk on the 2. The only difference would have been the physical difference. They walk on 4, we walk on 2. They ask those, Ar-Rahman fas'al bihi khabira. They ask those who have developed their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who the Muslim is, how the life is, how the tasteful life a person can live once your goal is set, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah is not the goal, then no any happiness of dunya will satiate the human heart. It will bring the tranquility, consolation, and happiness in the heart. There's no way it will be all cosmetic happiness. It will be all superficial happiness. The only happiness can be realized when the heart gets its own food. The remembrance of Allah, the Creator who brought us into existence, when we submit before Him, that is the only way to bring the happiness, tranquility, consolation, satisfaction to the heart. Without which you cannot achieve these things. That's why you see those people who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if they materially they don't possess many things. You find them tranquil and they are totally contented and satisfied. On the other hand, a good number of people having all the possessions of the world, all the belongings of the world, but by the end of the day, they are supposed to take a compost, they have a nap. They cannot sleep properly. They are supposed to take medicines because our life is full of confusion, life is full of tension and messes there. So Islam teaches us you are here, Allah has created you and He has given you a specific tenure. And He has given you the choice. Imma shakira wa imma kafura. Either be thankful by acknowledging Him or be thankless by denying Him. Imma shakira wa imma kafura. Imma I have shown you the two paths, two ways. One leads to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, other it leads to the purposelessness and ultimately to the Jahannam. So both the ways are shown to you by the Prophet, peace be upon him. That's why the humanity badly needs the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who teaches the real art of the life, who teaches the purpose of life, who shows how a practical life, the God-oriented life, how it is linked. How to strike a balance between the religious and the mundane. How to strike a balance between what we are supposed to do and what we possess in this dunya. A beautiful, perfect balance in life can be achieved only through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's the last doorway to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only gateway to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. More we are connected to our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to our deen, to our values. Then lesser are the sufferings. You will enjoy the sufferings. You will not have any negative comment upon your lips once the direction is set right. On the other hand, if the direction is not set right, then just small things will cause trouble to our life. It will snatch away all the taste and fabric of the life. Just small, small things. Ibrahim alayhi salam faces hardships, and it takes him closer and closer to Allah. He's ready to just face any sort of torture, any sort of oppression. Why? Because its direction is set. Direction is defined. Knowing the fact that we are here, that we are here for some time. We are not supposed to live here. We are not the immortal beings. We are the mortal beings. The day is going to come when we have to leave this world. On the other hand, those who don't know the values of life, who don't know the purpose of life, whenever any agony, pain, hardship they are struck with, their approach is different. The face of afflictions, hardships, pain, and agony seems to be harsh, horrible, and grisly. But the proper approach to face it turns a Musibah into the Rahmah. The only thing is our approach, our direction. Our golden swan, which I discussed in the beginning, our world view. What's the position in this dunya? Is it that, what the Nietzsche said, that we are business of time, that I have to derive only the pleasures, the hedonistic way of life. And definitely, if you just one small thorn is picked, the person will be altogether restless. On the other hand, when the direction is set, when a person determines his position in this dunya, knowing that I'm here to pass through the tests, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my target, my sole object is to get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will enjoy the death as well. Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, when he was martyred, when he was attacked, so he cried, "Who's the Lord of the Kaaba? I succeeded by the Lord of Kaaba." The kuffar are surprised and astonished. We sealed his life, we attacked him, we deprived of him his life. And he's saying that, "Who's the Lord of the Kaaba? By the Lord of Kaaba, I succeeded." What kind of success is this? The ideas are altogether defined. There is no ambiguity. There is no enigma in life. Life is altogether explained and defined. So two approaches are there now. One, the approach that we are here, we are supposed to face the tests. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us, and all these tests are to elevate our position. These tests are meant to bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to bring us closer to our Creator. And then, as I said, al-ataya ala qadri al-balaya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showers upon a person his bounties and blessings according to the justice a person suffers and passes through. So the present epidemic or pandemic seems to have destroyed the very fabric of the society. To those people who don't have this crazy golden shore based on the akhirah-oriented life or God-oriented life, Allah-oriented life, they'll be surprised. They'll be bewildered with small things, not talk about the major things they face. They will lose the fabric of life. They will lose the taste of life. And it is quite sure and quite obvious that they suffer the depression. Why? Because the things they had, the way of life they were used to live, is no more the way they wanted to live. It's no more there. So economic recession, or accident, unemployment, social insecurity, financial crunch, stretching hours of idleness, and engines of gloom and melancholy. You see, many of people are now depressed. They don't know what to do. As if everything has been snatched away. Just what happened? Job is gone. It seems that their whole life revolves around the job. If it is there, they are contented. If it is altered or there is any problem in it, the whole taste of life is removed. And then people are there saying, we don't have to do anything. We are idle. Why they are idle? Once they develop their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will feel that we are having a lesser and lesser time in our life. Those whose ideas, whose life is not determined by the values or values of Islam, teachings of Islam, they will feel bored. Boredom will be there. their fate. You see that they are just turning that just here and there, wandering here and there, because they have nothing to do. On the other hand, those who are living the life, you know that every single moment of life counts. Is important in my life. Every single. The Sajad al-Bunani Rahimahullah is one of the pastors. He used to have the flour, raw flour. He was not just making breads. Somebody asked him, there is a high level of this type of life. Somebody asked him, why don't you make your bread? Why don't you make the dough and then make your bread? He said, I counted that I missed 70 times Subhanallah, la ilaha illallah. Life is very short. So I have to eat to survive. So they realize the concept of that food is for us. But for us, we are for the food. They realize it that these clothes, we need to cover our body to perform the salah, to perform the obligations of Islam, from the verses to cover our body. So we need the clothes to cover our body. They realize it. They knew that the clothes are meant for them. But now, how do we think? We are meant for the clothes. This brand system and everything, as if we are meant. Then the world is shown. The world determines one's trajectory of life. One's way of life is determined by the way you look upon this world. And we as Muslims, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is one of the, I say that it is one of the best blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us, which we are born as Muslims. And He blessed us with the Iman. But we need to improve our Iman. How can we improve our Iman? We need to know the purpose of our life. Especially we need to educate those Muslim brothers and sisters who are away from Deen. That's why they are the worst sufferers of this pandemic. Those who are away from the Deen, they are the worst sufferers, the worst victims, because their life was meant for dunya and their dunya is not destroyed. So whether we have the dunya with us or not, what matters to us whether Allah is with us or not. If Allah is with us, wallahi, we won't need anything we need. Allah will facilitate everything for us. Because now all the things will be taken into the appropriate position. On the other hand, if we have all the things of the dunya, we possess all the belongings, but we don't have Allah with us, then life is not worth it. It's a life, I say this, it's simply a person is breathing that is just life is a savage dance of the ghastly and grisly atoms and ions. Life is purposeful. It is very important, it's so much precious, immensely precious. There's the ulama who know the preciousness of the life, because they know that we are blessed here with just a few days. As Allah says, countable days you are having in this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Nazi'at, كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها. Well, we reach all to the Qiyamah. We shall be resurrected on the day of judgment. Every one of us shall think كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها. We all will think there as if we were in dunya, just a morning's time or evening's time. This whole package of 100 years, 70 years, 80 years, whatever be the age of a person, this whole package would seem to be as if it was one this time of. Those whom Allah blessed with this thing, you will never find them. You will never find them complaining that I'm idealistic, I have nothing to do. The life is not set in its own proper direction. So, and you see that these people, they'll be altogether terrified, fearful and scared of small things. Not talk about the pandemic and all the big disasters, major disasters. Small things will spoil your taste of life, your fabric of life. But on the other hand, if life is, one knows the value of the life, one realizes his position in this dunya, he can relate himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this life will be worth to live. It's worth to live, and all the biggest disasters of the world will increase one's iman. It will not decrease the iman. It will increase the iman. The only thing is that we need the proper education. When we see the Musibah, there are many positive aspects of the Musibah. One time, saying Aisha, we'll discuss this later on, Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha. She reports that I asked the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam about pestilence, and he said, it's a punishment or pandemic or epidemic, ta'un. أنها سألت عن الطاعون. She asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the ta'un or plague or epidemic. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is a punishment which Allah sends upon whomever He wills. But Allah has made it as a mercy to the believers. So, two aspects of one thing, or we can say two sides of the same coin. Ta'un is there, pandemic is there. Now there are two sides of the pandemic. One is a punishment, other is a rahmah. One is musibah, one aspect, other is rahmah. How can we determine that what is written in the fate of a person? Whether this is rahmah for a person or this is musibah for a person. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that it is a punishment which Allah sends upon whomsoever He wills, but Allah has created as a mercy to the believers. Anyone who remains in a town which is plagued with pestilence, maintaining patience, expecting the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and knowing that nothing will befall him other than what Allah has foreordained for him, he will receive a reward of Sheikh. This is our concept of Musibah. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, indeed and surely we test you, we put you on trial. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ. We test you for the fear. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ, for fear, وَالْجُوعِ, starvation, hunger, وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ, loss in your property, وَالْأَنفُسِ, by inflicting disease upon you, وَالثَّمَرَاتِ, and for your business. It will be deflated, and you will face a lot of recession in it. Well, a number of these are the different things, or we can say dynamics of the test. It can be fear, hunger, poverty, destituteness, pauperism, or a person is suffering from many deadly diseases. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. But you give glad tidings to those who remain patient. Also the patience. They don't express any complaint. Their comments are not based on the complaint. Why Allah did this to me? What I did to him? I did not do any wrong thing. It's not necessary that you do the wrong. You think now the Prophet did wrong? Allah caused so many tests to them. They were supposed to pass through the harshest tests. And they remained steadfast. They remain patient. And it is a wrong thinking that if a person is good, he's righteous, then he will not face any sort of hardship. It's a wrong thinking. Those who face the hardships in life, Allah, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes them to forgive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes to forgive them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to bring them closer to Him. That's our concept of these hardships. It provides a person endurance to a person. Allah tests us here whether we are now patient or we are otherwise. So ta'un is there, a plague is a pandemic or epidemic, whatever disease there is. It's a source of test. One aspect of it is punishment, and other aspect of it is a test. And those who remain steadfast, who remain patient, they don't express any word of complaint. Then, if they are supposed to die for this pandemic, they will achieve the status of a shaheed. They achieve the status of a shaheed. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one of the hadiths, many a times he wished to have the death of a shaheed. Because the position of a martyr in Islam is so high. And the one who passes through this pandemic, but the only condition is that he knows the value of life, he knows the philosophy of life, that I am here for a short span of life. Whether I wish or not, a day is going to come, I'm approaching to that day when I'm supposed to do this thing. When my body and soul will be separated, when the soul will be seized, despite my reluctance, in spite of my unwillingness, I have to do this dunya. Then, whatever I have performed in this dunya, my destination, there are only two destinations, or what you call it, Dua destinasi. Just only two destinations, Jannah and Jahannam. You determine by how patient a person was, how loyal he was to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how he made the life to be, how he drafted and carved his life, how he wrote the pages of days and nights by the Ahmad. Every day in the morning, we have the two pages, blank pages. Now it depends upon the person. So I don't get him with the piety, goodness, love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or with otherwise, with the love of dunya, with the love of disobedience, with the love of lust, and all these actions based on disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The choice lies with the person. Every day, every morning, we get these two pages. Next morning, we get another two pages. The soul discretion lies with us, how to design our life, of what to write upon the pages of our lives, pages of days and nights. So, and the hadith, Ibn Sa'd, Ibn Abi Waqqas reported on the authority of his father that he asked Usama bin Zayd, what you have heard from Allah's Messenger about faith. Thereupon Usama said, Allah's Messenger said, there is a calamity which was sent to Bani Israel, or upon those who were before you. So when you hear that it has broken out in a land, you will go to it, and when it has broken out in the land when you are, don't run out of it. So this was a kind of punishment for the Bani Israel. But for us, Prophet he says, it's a Rahmah for this ummah. It was adab, a punishment for other communities, and for us it is a Rahmah. But the only thing is that our approach. How do we react to it? How do we behave with this pandemic? If our approach is positive, we are full. You say, O Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that nothing will afflict us. No pain will be inflicted upon us. No misery will touch us. Except what Allah has decided for us. Allah has written for us. For Maulana, He's our guardian. So this is our concept that nothing happens on the surface of the planet except by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we're supposed to take care of all the precautions. And by the end of the day, our soul first must be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, rahimahullah, because we see many people, they are so much terrified. As if they pass this test or they cause this pandemic, as if then they move to the death. Their approach is like this. They are so much terrified. No doubt, Allah says, take the precautions. Prophet has taught us that we must use all the means. As far as the means are concerned, we are supposed to adopt the means. But by the end of the day, we should not rely on the means. Those who survive this pandemic, does this mean that they won't face the death? Even if we are in the highest specialty room, wherever you are, death will seize you. Even if you are in the strong castles, it should not stop it. When it comes, nobody will stop it. However, we need to take the precautions. And Al-Mawtu rahmatul lil-mu'min, Prophet has told. There's no need to be terrified. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he was poisoned by his slave. When he realized that he's been poisoned by his slave, so he sent the soldiers and he was captured by them. And the doctor came to see Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, and the doctor said that the poison has just reached to all parts of the body. And it's very difficult that you may, there is less chance of survival. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said to the doctor, you are not sure about my death. So you should be sure about such a person who did not consume the poison. Though, apparently, when a person consumes the poison, apparently we can say, yes, there will be no one cannot survive. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said that you must have the firm belief about the one who not consume the poison. That he has to leave this thing. So our approach is that it gives us courage, it gives us enthusiasm, a passion to survive, and the full faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, I always say we have to adopt the precautions, we have to adopt the means. At the same time, it's not all that we put all our belief upon the means. There is another side, we can say another form of shirk, there is shirk al asbab. Shirk al asbab, that we fully believe now I adopt all these means, now nothing is going to happen to me. It's a wrong thinking. But at the end of the day, the life and death is the hand of Allah. Many of people whom we thought that they won't survive, they are still living. Many of people whom we think are quite healthy, but they are no more. So these diseases, these pandemics, there are many things to learn. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created these things so that we learn many lessons. It provides, we can say, meaning to the life. And the positive aspects of this musibah is that, first of all, a person's faith is tested. You say of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إن يمسسك الله بضر إن يمسسك الله بضر فلا كاشف له إلا هو. If any affliction is inflicted upon you, if any pain is inflicted upon you, فلا كاشف له إلا هو. There is no one who will remove this except Allah. So it is a test of faith. So it's a great opportunity for us to regain our faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and cleansing our soul. It cleanses the soul. Prophet said, fever of a night, just for one night, takes away all the sins of a person. But of course, it refers to the minor sins, not major sins. For major sins, we need to seek the forgiveness of Allah. We need to make the tawbah. And but one is tawbah, second is Allah's mercy. You can forgive the sins of a person without even seeking the forgiveness. But the sunnah of Allah is that we need to seek the forgiveness of Allah. It cleanses our soul. Prophet says, "Hatta shawka yushakuha." Even the prick of a thorn. If a thorn pricks us, the pain we feel, Prophet says, it becomes a source of forgiveness of the sins. Ham, nasab, wasab, there are many terms mentioned in the hadith. Prophet says, if you feel tired, fatigue, or any sort of anguish, any sort of sorrow, psychological, physiological, any, it becomes a source of forgiveness. And that's only for the believer. The hadith which is related in the beginning of the talk, strange is a affair of a believer. All his affair is based on the good. It's good for him. And it's not for anyone else except the mu'min, except the believer in Allah. If he receives any good from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Sheikh, he is thankful to Allah, it is better for him. If any pain is inflicted upon him, Sabr, and he is patient, he is tolerant, he endures this hardship. It is better for him. So both the way, a mu'min is never a loser. A believer never loses. He's never a loser. He always gains. He always succeeds. He has nothing to lose except when he has this approach. And then realizing the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, from east to west, north to south, all the trees were blocked. There was no any army seen anywhere. There was no any companies of the army soldiers. Just a tiny, rather the tiniest which you cannot see by the naked eye. You cannot see it. Junullah is an army of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Doesn't need any biological weapons, any nuclear weapons. Everybody was frightened. Everybody was scared. Isn't it enough for us to realize His power? We say that we are in 21st century, it's a technological age. With all our technology so far, 6 months have elapsed so far. No medicine is there. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Dawah. Every disease has a remedy. Soon they will discover, inshallah. But it is, yes, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Dawah. Every disease has a remedy. So they will discover this, but isn't it sufficient for us? A sufficient opportunity to realize the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How powerful He is. He did not send the Jibreel to teach a lesson to us, as He used it to teach to other communities before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just tiniest one. We were studying in our childhood, then our teacher would relate the story of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam in Namrud. The Namrud was destroyed by one single mosquito. And that too, a disabled mosquito whose leg was broken. Not a healthy one. whose leg was broken, so disabled, our user. Now, sometimes a person feels, how is it possible? Just one small mosquito can work the magic. Now we can see mosquito can be seen by the naked eyes, but it is such a virus which you cannot see by the naked eyes. Is it enough to realize the power of Allah? أَأَمِنْتُمْ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ? How can you be scared from the one who is in the heavens? أَأَمِنْتُمْ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ? And when he إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن. His affair is that when he wants to do anything, he doesn't need all the means. The only thing he has to say, kun, be. So one command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you want, there will be an outbreak of the plague from the Yuan. Sorry, Wuhan, or I don't know the name of the place in China. Wuhan. So Wuhan, one single was a miracle of one single virus, but multiplied, and goes through the whole globe. I don't think that there is any country in the world which is unaffected. I don't think there is any country which is unaffected. That's why the very shortly this was considered, this was declared to be a pandemic. It started with an epidemic, then it was translated with a pandemic. It engulfed all the parts of the world, showing to us that Allah's arm, it doesn't need the passports, it doesn't need anything. It can travel to any part of the world. Still, even in Mulk, who's the real king? Who's the real powerful king? Still we can realize this, but it's only for those people who can see the sun. Those who are blind, they cannot see the brightness of the sun. They will always be wandering in the darkness. But for those who have the eyes to see, they can see the brightness of the sun. Those who want to know the reality of life, they can easily just read the pages of the book of nature. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is dealing with us. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ اللَّهَ غَافِلًا عَمَّا يَعْمَلُ الظَّالِمُونَ. He showed those people who were unaware of the sufferings of the people who have been facing these lockdowns for many years, for many decades. Allah wanted to show other people they have this experience of this. So this must develop our compassion, our kindness to those people who face this for many decades. And then it also the positive aspect of this Rahmah, this Musibah is that is Rahmah, gratefulness. Gratefulness to be grateful to Allah. For those who are unaffected, they must express their gratefulness for Allah. Allah is a command of Allah. Allah has promised it's a command of Allah. Whom He wishes to get affected, the virus will reach there. As we believe that there's not a single movement of a leaf of a tree except is by the permission of Allah. It is all within the hands of Allah. No doubt I said that to maintain the fabric of this dunya, we are supposed to adopt the means, take enough precautions. But at the end of the day, we see many high-level politicians who have every sort of luxury with them, every sort of means with them to protect themselves, but they were affected most. They were affected most. So this is a secret of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. An open secret, I should say. It's open secret to show to us. And I wish all your technology stands magnified before you. There's no any value before you. For those who are unaffected, they must be grateful for us. Allah is by your grace that I'm protected. Otherwise, I could have been affected. It's your mercy. And Musibah, Allah, it takes a person close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But only we need the approach, proper approach, balanced approach. And then another hidden aspect of this pandemic is that it's a reminder to return to Allah. It showed the real position of the things. We were crazy about dunya. Now dunya is no more. It's locked down. So is it for this we are created? It's a reminder for us. It's a great reminder. It's a divine reminder for all humanity. What's the thing you're crazy about? It's all locked down. And you're running away to save yourself. Which means it's not the thing, this dazzling dunya you're created for. Then why do you save yourselves? Why you run away from this? So there is something more precious as your life. And what is the thing it's meant for? It's for dunya, it's all dead. It's a reminder for us. It's a reminder for us that we must tafirru ila Allah. We rush to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But again I say, it's only for those people who have the eyes to see. Those who are blinded by this dazzling world, they cannot see it. They cannot see the reality through. They will see only the negative aspects. They will not see that how this brought the families together. To feel the togetherness of the families, which was destroyed by the crazy lust of this dunya. How it brought the families together, to feel the togetherness, to feel who are important to your life. It's not your job, it's not your business, it's not your relationship, it's your own kids and kids who matters for you. What else you need? You were driven away by the dunya, day in and day out. All the time thinking about the dunya, even while being among the family members, just on the laptop working, not having time for the family. Now this brought us, this made us realize the importance of who, what matters to us. Who are the important people, which are the important things for us. And then it provides a pause in our life to think about the trajectory chosen for life. When we are chased by dunya, the moment the hunger for dunya starts, the starvation, the hunger for dunya starts, there is no any amount which can satiate this. You ask a Dilgi, or the one who is just man of the world now, ask him, are you satisfied? No. This crazy about having more. The belly of a person, the stomach of a person will be saturated only by the soil. When he's pushing, he's forced under the heaps of the soil, then on his wish or his longings will stop and cease. There's no end to the hunger of this world. So now it provides a pause to us to rethink. With what trajectory I have chosen for my life? Is it this thing I'm waiting for? And to show the frailty and mortality of the year. This pandemic is showing us this dunya is mortal. It's frail. It's not permanent. Yesterday's luxurious world, tomorrow's, it is all dead. One day is a dazzling life, the other day is deserted life. It's enough to realize. And then, lastly, there are many other lessons for us. The lastly, I just focus on compassionate call to prepare for life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided an opportunity to us to assess, to introspect ourselves in this pandemic. That if we are subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all the human beings in general and the Muslims in particular from every sort of disease and illness, but there's a reminder for us. It's a compassionate call even if you're unaffected from this pandemic. But headaches will become in your situation. No matter how healthy you are or how sick you are, you have to use this. Now this time you are saved. You have this opportunity. You have this opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not include you among those who are declared to be dead. If a person came to one of the Sheikh and he complained his poverty, his nothingness, he said, I face a lot of hardships in my life, I don't have anything. He said, okay, if anybody comes to assist you, I give you $50,000. Will you give it to one eye? You know how to give. So together 2 eyes, $100,000. Okay, if a person comes to and he says that I need your tongue, I will give you $50,000. Will you give it? So no, even if he gives $100,000, I will not give. I will not make any sort of deal. And he just makes him to count all the parts of the world. And then he causes him to realize, make him to realize. Still he said, you don't have anything to do. Hasn't Allah given you enough? Hasn't He given you enough? Actually, what's the problem? The problem is that I said that once the hunger of dunya starts, it's no different. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you this opportunity. You are unaffected. You could have been among those who are affected. Every day there's a list. The number of people who passed away by this pandemic. How grateful we should be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah gives me the chance to return. It's not only the pandemic. How many people die of accident every day? How many people die of many other diseases every day? Isn't it a reminder for us? A reminder for us that we should prepare for our Lord, our Akhirah, our real life. So our approach in this pandemic, wallahi, there are many positive things. But the only thing we need the proper approach. And how do we have this proper approach? We take you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how can we get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We need to learn about the deen. You say, I don't have anything to do. I'm idle still. I don't know. You have enough time. Allah is providing the time to learn your purpose in life. Allah is providing you the opportunity to get to know about Him, to get closer to Him, who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, why He created us, how Prophet lived the life sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Allah wants to start this trajectory. Once you start this path, you feel, I don't have much time with me. Before, huge time at your disposal. But now, there's no time with you. Every time you find, now you will develop once you know Allah, you develop the love for the zikr of Allah. You will recite the Quran regularly. Then you will feel the taste of life. And you respect your own kids and kids. You take care of them. You will feel the real fabric of the life. Otherwise, our life is just all cosmetic life. We are living in a postmodern society, which has ruined our fabric of society. The only goal, even to our children, what we show to them, what we teach them, that their objective is to find a bigger window and nothing else. So we are making our children as money-making machines. They have to get more and more wealth. For this, they need a higher degree. So we spend on them to get more and more wealth. But we don't try to make the best human resource for the humanity. We teach them the values of the life. Because we are materialistic. We want our children to be materialistic. By the end of the day, when they grow disobedient to us, then we just keep making and cry. And it's our turn to train them, to tame them, to inculcate the good values in them, so that they prove to be a good human resource for the humanity. The torchbearers for the humanity. But once the problem is in the root, it will be manifested in the shoot. The problem is with the parents thinking, it will have impact upon the children's attitude. Once we need, these are the things we need to rethink. What is the trajectory? What is the path I have chosen for my children? Enough time to rethink. You could not find the time before. It's the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then you have much more time at your disposal to think about it. So let's ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant the status of Shahada to those who ask their for this pandemic all over the world, especially the Muslims, because to seek the forgiveness of Maghfirah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first prerequisite is to acknowledge his oneness. When he denies oneness, or the person is himself, depriving him of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to elevate the status of those people in the Jannah who passed away before the pandemic, and grant the sabr to their relatives, and at the same time we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to leave this pandemic as a source of rahmah for us, to open our eyes, to rethink our life, to take a pause at what we are doing and what we ought to do. What is the thing we were created for, and what is the thing I am doing? There's a difference between the two. So this is the best time to rethink, to reschedule our life, to strategize our planning. That our sole target is our soul. Our sole objective is to live the life according to the commandments of our Creator. And lastly, I just conclude on this. If we want to achieve peace, prosperity, consolation, satisfaction, and tranquility in life, then we need to follow the commandments set for us. Simple example, all the telephone gadgets. For example, we have the laptop with a HP laptop. When we buy it from the market, there is a small booklet enclosed with it. That's how to use it. There's a manual, small manual, which tells us that what are the things which are good for this, what are the things which are adverse to this. My question simple is, who is authorizing to make that booklet? Who can make that? Who can make that booklet?
Manufacturer.
Any manufacturer of electronics?
No, only that
Specific manufacturer who knows the odds and ends of the product, who knows the product inside out, outside in. And then he has a special amount of knowledge. He has a specific knowledge, expertise in the field. Then he is able to make the booklet. And the most complicated machine on the surface of the planet. You see, the most complicated machine. During the 21st century, the saga of technology, which is the most complicated machine on the surface of the planet. Most complicated machine on the surface of the planet. Because we are living in a technological world and use these terminologies. It's a human being itself. It's the most complicated. Isn't it? If you see that if you go for the physiology, anatomy of a person, physiology of a person, there are baffling things to discover. How much God has created us. Beautifully created. It's not a savage dance of the gas and grizzly atoms which brought it together. It's not that the hawks of the evolution that there's so many coincidences, a series of coincidences that were brought together, and we were just taken to this position. This one well planet, the most complicated machine on the surface of the planet is humanity. And who is authorizing to make the booklet for the most complicated machine? Charles Darwin, Karl Marx. That's why they fail. They try to just provide the answers to the problems of the human. They fail, miserably fail. Why? Because they are themselves products, not the manufacturers. They are themselves products. We have products made in China, made in Japan, made in this. They are made in God products. These are our manufacturers, and they send the booklet for us. And they're listening. Quran and Sunnah. Quran and Sunnah is a booklet for us. So we need this pandemic is enough reminder for us to return to our booklet to see how can we set ourselves right. How can we adopt the way which will lead us to the success of dunya and success of life. So we ask for us to open the ways of knowledge to us, open the ways of marifah to us, and make this pandemic as a source of rahmah for all humanity in general, and Muslims in particular. Yes, he knows ultimately it's in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amin ya Rabbal Alameen. Lastly, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the tawfiq to understand the things according to what He sent to us. That's the Quran and Sunnah. آمين يا رب العالمين. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.